I am honored to welcome all participants
to the first virtual conference on educational apps, add-ons, and other digital tools.
Good morning, everybody, and it's a pleasure for me to join you.
I'm very excited to participate.
Glad to be here. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being part of the conferences.
And I'm going to show you step by step how to work with this.
So I ask myself 5 big questions every time I'm going to select some material for my class.
With this, for example, you already know that the students are applying vocabulary, they are applying grammar.
The system automatically will check everything over 10.
Thank you very much, Mariela.
We are here to help.
So I hope you like it.
We want to thank you for being part of this academic conferences 2020.
I am honored to welcome all participants
to the first virtual conference on educational apps, add-ons, and other digital tools.
Good morning, everybody, and it's a pleasure for me to join you.
I'm very excited to participate.
Glad to be here. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being part of the conferences.
And I'm going to show you step by step how to work with this.
So I ask myself 5 big questions every time I'm going to select some material for my class.
With this, for example, you already know that the students are applying vocabulary, they are applying grammar.
The system automatically will check everything over 10.
Thank you very much, Mariela.
We are here to help.
So I hope you like it.
We want to thank you for being part of this academic conferences 2020.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the third and last day of these beautiful sessions. I hope you're okay. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you're full of energy for our next session. I can see that we already have like 30 students, 30 people saying good afternoon. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for being part of this nice event. And well, we are going to get ready for our next and last session. I'm very sure you're going to enjoy it, and I'm very sure you're going to find a lot of useful information from here. Well, please let me welcome our next presenter. Hi, Enrique. We have here Mr. Enrique Barreto. Thank you very much for being part of this event. I see that we still have people joining us. Thank you very much, guys. Well, before we start with the presentation, please let me tell you a little bit about Enrique. Well, he is the Workforce Skills Director from Pearson LATAM. He is graduate in business with MBA in Business Planning and Management. Enrique has had several courses on leadership. That's why he's going to help us a lot. Soft skills, diversity and inclusion, sales and technology. Right? So I'm very sure we have a lot to learn from you, Enrique. He was the mastermind of the Diversity and Inclusion online course from Pearson and UMA in Brazil. Enrique has restarted his career once from commercial manager at an international company in 2010. He decided to go back as an assistant in the educational business. In 7 years, he built his way back to the top, and he will share with us a little bit of his beliefs to get there. Thank you very much, Enrique. Thank you very much for sharing so much knowledge with us today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much, Daniela, for the introduction. Just to be sure, I'm not sure if everyone is being able to see my shared screen here. Are they able to see that?
We are going to do that right now. So I'm going to leave you now. The audience is all yours.
And Daniela, just to remind you, feel free to interrupt at any time. If there are questions, it is going to be my pleasure to answer them instantly.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we can see your screen. Thank you. The audience is all yours.
All right. Well, very good. Again, thank you, Daniela, for the introduction. I'm very, very happy to be here. And before starting, I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. Before starting, I need to thank the invitation from the academic director, Jose Mendeville, to be a speaker at the virtual conference 2.0 of the del Centro Boliviano Americano. It's very nice to see an institution that goes beyond the regular education to offer this kind of content to students is very, very powerful. Besides that, it shows that the Centro Boliviano Americano is not only worried about your education, students' education, but also on how they can really make a difference, how they can really impact your future. So thank you again for this opportunity to be here, Mr. Mendeville. And well, as Daniela mentioned, my name is Enrique Barreto. I have been at Pearson, the world's leading education company, for 7 years. And I have been working with education overall for over 10 years. But I'm not a teacher. I have been once an English teacher, but I was never really good at it. Currently, my position, as Daniela mentioned, is the Workforce Skills Director at Pearson Latin America. And we offer products and services to companies so they can evaluate, develop, and certify employees and improve their satisfaction at their companies. So I would like to say it's a very noble option to help and develop and support companies to have the best employees and to keep on improving people. And when I was invited to talk to you, I was really flattered, not only because I like to share my perspectives about the future of employment, but also because I always had a strong memory of Bolivia, mostly La Paz. And the reason I had that, well, I have never been to Bolivia. I really want to go there and visit and get to know the country and everything. But the reason why I have this strong memory, it's not that nice. Well, I'm Brazilian. You probably noticed that by now from the accent and from the name. And I'm a huge soccer fan. And I'm still very sad about the loss that we had Saturday on the Copa America. But I'm 38 years old, and one of the first soccer games I really remember watching in my life was a game between Brazil and Bolivia. Actually, it was Bolivia and Brazil. And I don't know if many of you remember this. I truly hope not. But this was in 1993, and this was our first defeat ever in the history of the World Cup. And this was in La Paz. And the goal was just so painful. The first goal was at 88 minutes on the second half. It was very painful. It was a huge failure from Tafarel, our goalie at the time. The game ended 2-0, and no one my age, I think most of the people my age, will ever forget this name, Marco Echeverri. I don't know, well, I'm sure you guys remember him better than I do, but we remember that really well. But let's talk about a different game today. Not soccer, but the employment game, the game that you guys are facing or will face in the near future. We always see some very impressive numbers out there. News about the future of employment. Usually there are some scary scenarios, huge risks, large numbers of positions being replaced by technology, risks of the unknown future. And to tell you the truth, this is very real. I mean, 85 million positions will disappear by 2025. And most of them due to to machines, technology, innovation. And this is very scary. Probably someone you know will lose their jobs in the next 4, 5, maybe 6 years. Well, there's another side to it, and it's always important to bring it up. The good side is that 97 million people, based on this study, 97 million people or 97 million positions will be created from in that exact same period. And due to that same reason, innovation, technology, machines, some of those positions don't even exist yet. And I always like to bring this up. You must understand that this is not new. Jobs were always replaced due to innovation, due to technology. There is a constant change, and it will always happen. And this is what makes the future so exciting. Just to give you an idea, if you search on Google for professions actually that don't exist anymore, you'll find the bowling pin setter, or the lamplighter, or the milkman. There are hundreds of professions that were totally vanished from the world. The bowling setter became automated, the lamplighter became automated, and the milkman, well, I don't know, became pedidos já, I guess. Well, the important thing here is that the milk is still being sold, lights are still being turned on, pins are magically back into their positions for strike. Jobs vanish, but new jobs come in. And to better explain all of this, I'd like to bring in a case that I consider very important regarding technology, which is the Netflix that we all know, the Netflix case. It is important to think of the future of employment connecting technology and innovation. And I don't know if you all know this, but Netflix was created in 1997. And usually when I ask people that, they won't believe it. How could the most famous streaming platform be created even before the broad usage of high-speed internet connection? Well, Netflix in 1999 became a DVD club. You would subscribe to the service, and every month you would receive a DVD in your house. You could watch it and return it whenever. And back in the time, I don't know, probably most of you don't remember this, but back in the time, you would rent a VHS, you would watch it, you had to reverse it and deliver it. And if you didn't, you would have a fine and everything else. Again, in 1999, most of you maybe weren't even born. But the reason I always like to mention Netflix is because I've lived it. Back in the time, I have watched movies on DVDs from Netflix subscription system. In 1999, I was an exchange student living in America, and I remember when I first saw this box arriving at my host family's house, and I asked, what is Netflix? And the answer was, well, Netflix is a company just like Blockbuster, but I don't have to go there. We all know the story here. Netflix became the first streaming company on a global scale. They started to stream in 2010. They already were at people's house, so all they had to do was to invest in technology and change the delivery methods. They ended up being the killer of the largest DVD or VHS rental company there was in the time, which was Blockbuster. And well, technology has always been connected to the future. Important to mention, Blockbuster employed at its best moment over 80,000 employees, and Netflix today employs 10,000 employees. But there are three questions here that we should think of. First of all, how many employees at Netflix currently worked in Blockbuster? I mean, it's a valid question if we consider that they were competitors, right? So there must be people in Netflix currently that came from Blockbuster operation and would make sense to have them. I'm very curious. I logged in LinkedIn, I looked it up. I even used this LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is even a stronger and most powerful tool to search that up. And I found out there were only three people that were from the Blockbuster operation that are still at LinkedIn. Well, second question that came up, what did Netflix see that Blockbuster didn't? Well, I would say a lot of things. One of them is that Blockbuster failed to accept a partnership. And most people don't really know that. But in 2000, Netflix offered Blockbuster to be part of them, to be partner with them. But Blockbuster didn't see value in it. They decided that the innovation would not be that innovation they were thinking of, the rental club or the streaming in the future, would not be something important for the future, and didn't see it happening. They really missed a huge opportunity here, and this is important, you guys, to remember. Blockbuster missed the opportunity, and once the opportunity passes by you, you can't grab it anymore. And the third one, well, I need to go back to the first question for the third one. Why there's only 3 people? I mean, these guys wanted Blockbuster to be their partner, so why only 3 people from Netflix came from Blockbuster? They once wanted to be joint partners with them, and now only 3 people comes from the operation. The answer is not really in the company. It is in the people. Those 3 employees that I found have completed, changed their profile. I mean, one of them was a attendant that became a video technician supporter. The other one was a customer relationship at Blockbuster and became a original series director. These people had what it takes. They reinvented themselves. This tells us something. Transformation, skilling, reskilling, innovating, reinventing is part of success. However, if you don't recognize the need for change, the need to engage into something new, you definitely might go out of business. Netflix saw the opportunity and a need to change and use technology to do so. Same thing that happened to several companies, such as Kodak, when they thought that digital cameras wouldn't make sense because pictures would always be printed. We also have the BlackBerry with their huge keyboards on phones because they thought this would make lives of the users easier. Or Atari that stuck on the 2D games. Nowadays we have over 80 video streaming companies, mostly of them in the US, but several worldwide companies like Amazon, Disney, HBO, Peacock, Apple TV, VTR. This became a new line of business, and thousands are employed here directly and indirectly. Some of these people also saw the need for changing, to be creative, to be innovative. To be part of the future, you must be open to the new technology. You must be creative, you must adapt fast, but it's vital, it's definitely vital that you're proactive and you accept your opportunities. You are ready for them and you accept them. And to innovate like Netflix did is one of the hardest things there are. I mean, I don't want to frustrate you guys, but probably in this conference, in this room that we have today, there's only one person that will have a totally out-of-the-box idea. You know, that $10 million idea or more that will change the world. Maybe we're looking and we have 3, maybe 4 people that can really do this. But the reality is most of us will have regular jobs at maybe ordinary companies, and well, probably those jobs don't even exist yet, or the company doesn't exist yet. But it's going to be most likely common. And that is okay. I mean, it's most of the people anyways. The goal of my speech today is not to motivate you into having this $10 million idea. That might happen because you're a genius, or you're here today and thinking, how can you really change and make an impact? But my goal is to help you convert that idea into something, or to help you in build your future in case you don't have that idea. So what will you need to bring to the game, to the employment game, in order to succeed in your future, to be employed in a world of constant changes, crises, wars, pandemics, and a lot of crazy people out there? So the goal here is to support you on that. Well, you need to bring to the game, first of all, education. This is the only way to start towards success. Be ready. You will study forever. You will be getting information all the time. You will be reskilling every month in your life, maybe even more frequently. This includes digitally literate, which is understanding the digital world even more and more after the years, the days. This is a must for the future. You need to bring that enthusiasm to keep the capability to keep on reskilling. And this is going to be a huge, huge differential. Second of all, certifications. This will be part of the competition for space. More and more from now on, every region is facing a large number of people unemployed, sadly. So to be certified is not only going to be important, but it's going to be a must. The quality of a certification will also be very important. Let's go deeper into this theme. We have made some researches at Pearson that showed us that people with strong and official certificates will have an impact on distinguishing from other people. To show you are relevant to a current technology or specific knowledge is very powerful. You will have a higher ROI, which is the return over investment for an employer, once they are sure of the skills you have. And you prove a real-world skill, even being a recent graduate. And certifications help to align your capabilities to the employer's needs. That's not all. Also, it is not only about getting the job, which is very important, but once you have a certification, you're better at it. 52% of the certified personnel in the global skills survey that we ran said there are more companies looking for their experience now. So you get more employable. 45% of them have improved their efficiency at their work. 43% are faster at their jobs. And 23% said that the deployments of products and services are now smoother. It's easier. This is impressive information. But the best data is yet to come. It's in this slide. 91% of the hiring managers think that if you have a certification, you're better. Well, they didn't say precisely that, but they consider certifications to be a criteria for hiring. And 85% of the supervisors consider certified personnel or employees more productive. They require less supervision. And this is from the Microsoft Certified Professional Survey. So consider achieving certifications related to your careers. This is very important, and it's going to help you distinguishing yourselves from competition. The third one, soft skills. And this is one of the things that are not being replicated by technology yet, at least until now. So this whole speech could be only about soft skills. The automation is causing soft skills to become an even more important aspect of successful works. There was a Deloitte study that showed that 2/3 of all jobs by 2030 will be soft skills intensive and dependent. By soft skills, I mean several of them. Some of them are very common, such as empathy or resilience. But in a day-after-day life with more machines everywhere, to be human, to be a human person will be very important. None of us are born soft-skilled. This is part of our history, but you can always improve them. First of all, you need to seek for self-awareness. Understanding yourself will be important. After all, how could you understand others if you can't understand yourself? But it goes way beyond that. I mean, there are so many soft skills we must have. It's not easy. Forbes made a study and they mentioned 25 soft skills for remote workers to have by 2021. Let me show you some of them. This is a brain field of soft skills from this Forbes article. And just so you have an idea, you have to be supportive, stress tolerant, social aware, service-oriented, self-assessed, capable of having relationships, manage relationships, be productive, solve problems, have perspectives, be original, analytical, inspirational, influential, flamboyant, also to enrich others, to be dynamic, to have critical thinking. Be creative, cooperative, practical, compliance, collaborative, assertive, and accountable. I mean, there's so many here that I decided to highlight some of them in according to what I think that the article said that could be the most important ones out there. So, first of them, accountable. Someone capable to take responsibility with personal integrity, self-monitored, basically to be that person who finishes things. You must be accountable. Inspirational, the ability to uplift, to stimulate, to empower people with a compelling vision. You never know. You never know. This is very important. You never know what people look at you as an inspiring leader. You need to make sure you are always that inspiring leader. Collaborative and teamwork. This will always have, I mean, everyone will always have people near to you, close to you in a working environment. To be a collaborative person and ready to work and develop other people, to be a team player is vital, and it's going to be more and more important. And maybe the most important of them all, to be stress tolerant, to be resilient. The working environment is complex. To deal with the risk, the stress, the unfairness, pressure, and everything else that goes with it, and also your personal life is very hard. So be ready to take it. Be ready to be stress tolerant. You need to empower from it. It's very tough, but at the end, it's to be the very best self you can be, understanding others and being proactive. But some of you might be thinking, well, how can I have it all? How can I be the very best possible? And I like to highlight here three things. First of all, you need to understand yourself. Find your strengths. Take tests. Understand what you are good at and what you need to develop, and do so. And that brings us to the second point, which is develop. You need to take an action. There are thousands, I mean, seriously, there are thousands of courses out there to develop your soft skills. Find your strengths and improve them. Find your weaknesses and develop them into not being no weaknesses anymore. And third of all, this is maybe the most important on soft skills that I can leave you with, which is benchmark, compare, find talented people, understand them. You need to learn from others. Role models are always important and will always be part of our life. So find your role model, learn from them, and improve. Compare yourself to your role models, and make sure you are at your very best. And keep on studying, keep on developing yourselves. Have I slowed down here on this? Okay, here we go. Sorry. The fourth point, and this is very, very important as well, is to be diverse. We need to embrace and live diversity and respect the people. Diversity is what makes us different and unique as individuals. We are all different. To be different should never be a problem. Diversity is one of the main characteristics of our region, Brazil, Bolivia, South America overall. We have mixes of cultures, beliefs, colors, social classes, sexual orientation, and many other things. The globalization speeded up these mixes that we are facing, and this is the best there could ever be. I mean, to have differences and to embrace it on a working environment is not only socially perfect, which it is, but also it improves us as professionals and improves companies' results. That's the reason why companies, mainly the global ones, are finally understanding that to be diverse is not only important due to the social responsibility, but also for the future, for their customers, for the new generations and everything that comes with it. The future customers are diverse and inclusive. They value it. Also, that is the only way to succeed in many levels. There's a McKinsey study that showed diverse companies have better organizational environments, people understanding each other, respecting each other, and generating stronger teams. This connects us. Diversity and inclusion also assures us evolution and innovation. The same McKinsey study showed that diverse companies are more creative. People are free to be themselves. They don't have to hide anymore. Propose ideas to be at their full potential. That will also optimize resources. And diverse companies are more profitable, more sustainable. So there isn't an option here. You must be diverse and inclusive to succeed in the employment game. Bring that to the table. Engage on social causes. Be a pioneer on standing up for the minorities, whatever they might be. This is important. This is part of who you need to be. So to summarize it all into 4 pillars, you need to, what you should bring onto the game to succeed on this tough game, which is the employment game. You first of all, you need to be skilled. You need to have hard skills. You need to have soft skills. You need to keep on studying. You need to bring that enthusiasm to keep on moving. Second of all, prove it. You have to have your differentials. You have to be certified at what you're good at. People must know you by your history, but also by your credentials, certifications. Have them with you. Third, be diverse. Embrace diversity. Be empathic to others. Understand people and understand their differences and respect it. And fourth, have your benchmarks. Develop relationships that are strategic, that people will trust you, that people will help you to develop. Have great relationships in the best context. This is very solid for your career. This is going to help you every time on the path, every time on the road, and build what we call build bridges. Never burn them. Keep your bridges open. Keep your bridges steady and strong. This is important. Relationship is always important. It will always be. The Greeks said, the Greeks say that opportunity is a god, and this god is called Kairos, and this is his image. And if you look at this image, you see that Kairos had hair only in his front head, only here in his front head. So the Greeks say that Kairos is very fast. You have to grab Kairos by the front head, by the hair, because if he passes, you can't grab him anymore. So if you see an opportunity coming in your direction, please be fast. Grab it by the hair. And remember, what could ever happen to Blockbuster if they had done it differently? If they had grabbed Netflix by the hair and not letting Netflix sleep and be who they are right now. Be ready for opportunities. And opportunities usually appear to people that are ready. Some people might say that this is to be lucky, but in reality, it's about being prepared. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I hope you have enjoyed. I tried to be fast because I would love to answer questions. This is what I do the best. And I hope you have enjoyed some of the ideas that I showed here. And I hope those ideas gives you a path that you can look at and impact your lives. On this QR code here, you can click on it, or you can show your phone to it, and it will take you to my LinkedIn page, so feel free to add me. It's going to be a pleasure to have you all as contacts. And I hope from my very best that you all succeed. And in fact, I think you already have a differential. I mean, whoever is in this room here, there is a great sign that you're willing to do a different thing, to be different, to be there, to take what it takes to succeed in this employability game, which is a tough one, but there's a hacking way to it, which is study, develop, be diverse, be ready, and be certified. Danielle, I'm open to questions. As I said, I'm quite fast on presenting, so I'm open to questions here.
It's okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. That was a really nice presentation. Well, so far I don't see any questions here. Of course, we have some comments right? We have like from Zoe Gomez, who says that it was very interesting and thank you. Then we have some more students saying thank you very much for this. Well, let me see. Well, we don't have any questions so far, but please, guys, all the participants, please feel free to type your questions, because here we have the presenter to help us to clarify some ideas, to clarify some doubts that you may have. We also have from another comment that says, thank you so much. Excellent. Thank you. Yes, I think it was a very nice, very, very nice presentation, and we can learn a lot from that, right? As you mentioned, I really like that part of soft skills, right? Because sometimes we don't consider that, right?
And this is one of the things, Daniela, that most of the people are dropping on the way. I mean, people are developing themselves in hard skills, which is knowing how to use your computer, knowing how to use your tools such as Word, Excel, whatever. But they're forgetting the values. They're forgetting to be compliant, to be accountable, and to be resilient, which is one of the toughest ones out there. And this is one of the things that we're facing right now. People are giving up on their jobs, changing, which is important, but some people are just dropping it because they're not ready. Life didn't prepare us to be strong, to be powerful into the hard, difficult times. And to develop those soft skills is very, very important. And people must keep on doing it. I mean, it's an exercise. Our brain is like a muscle, so you need to keep on going to the gym to develop it.
Exactly. Yes, I totally agree with you. Thank you. Yes, guys. So remember, it's like going to the gym, right? But without giving up, not just paying for the gym, not just saying, "Okay, I will," right? We really have to do this. Excellent. We still have some more comments from students saying that thank you so much. I think they really enjoyed the presentation. Personally, I enjoyed the presentation a lot. And I totally agree with you, right? There are so many things that we have to consider, but we have to learn, right? Little by little. And we can prepare ourselves for that. And I still have some more comments saying thank you so much.
I'm glad you all liked it. I'm really glad you all liked it. I have a complete setup here. So I have the YouTube page here where I can see most of the comments, and I can see you here in the other computer.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, we still have some comments. So thanks. I think we don't have any questions. However, I'm going to enlarge the image so students can scan the QR code.
Okay.
A few seconds. There. Remember, guys, that if you want, you can use your smartphones to scan the QR code and have contact with Enrique by his LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn page. Thank you.
And actually, one of the things that I think I could recommend to the students, you need to have a nice portfolio, a nice history to tell. So if you all can, look at my LinkedIn. It's not the best one out there, but it's well built. And this is important. People will see you, most of them, companies will see you through LinkedIn nowadays. So have a nice LinkedIn, be prepared, be very informative on what you've done, what you can do, what you have studied, the skills you have. Insert your certifications there. That's also important. LinkedIn is one of the ways to get to companies, so you have to do that. And mostly, if you're considering going abroad, if you're considering going to work somewhere outside Bolivia or outside South America overall, LinkedIn is the most common channel to do so.
Oh, very interesting. Thank you very much. Well, honestly, here probably that's not a very common page or not a very common, tool that we have. Most of the times we use Facebook, right? Or just WhatsApp and Facebook, at the most Instagram, let's say. But actually the objective of this page is totally different, right? As you just mentioned, you could have contact with companies, and it's not only like we're sharing funny things. It's not actually
there's not that there. I mean, in LinkedIn, you won't be seeing people sharing pictures of themselves. They'll be sharing text, informations. It's going to be completely different. So LinkedIn, well, you said Facebook. Facebook is where you share opinions. Instagram is where you share images of yourself, your family, and so on. But in LinkedIn is where you share what you are as a professional. So I highly recommend, if you don't have an account, open it. If you have, improve it. This is your virtual curriculum. It needs to be
Nice.
very informative, very qualified.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm also sharing that webpage, that link for the students to join in case they don't have an account yet. You already heard that's a piece of advice from Enrique. Thank you very much. I'm going to take it into account as well. I have my account, but it's not updated, honestly.
Now you need to. And make
I
sure you have a recent photo. Some LinkedIn's they log in, it's just an old photo that is there. So make sure you have an updated professional photo and all the data is really qualified.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much for that advice. Yes, I think everyone will take that into account now. I think with that we're done. I still don't see any questions. I think everything was clear, but however, now we have the way to contact our presenter guy. So as Enrique said, thank you. And he will be happy to be in touch with you, right? You can see his page.
Perfect. And Daniela, thank you again for the opportunity, and thank you to Professor Mendeville. It's definitely my pleasure to be here, and I hope I could impact some lives today.
I'm sure you did. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Enrique. Thank you very much for such a nice presentation, for sharing so much knowledge, because you know a lot. You have been preparing yourself so much, and thank you so much for sharing this with us, for people from Bolivia. Thank you for sharing with the students. They are very young. I'm very sure they are going to take everything into account. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye,
Okay.
guys.
Goodbye. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for being part of this session. Remember that at 4 o'clock, we are going to have the closing ceremony. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.